This is the Violent Professional Podcast.
Dude, I've got a question about your bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't notice it while you're taking a piss because you should be looking down and making sure you're not like doing the dude thing and like splashing everywhere, right? Like spraying piss everywhere. But I catch this thing in front of me where it's just these legs standing there and these white legs. And I'm like, what is that? I look up and this llama's looking right at me. What the fuck is going on there?
That used to be down in the downstairs bathroom. And I moved it upstairs. I don't remember why I moved it, but I put it in there and Ari was like, oh, cool. And she doesn't look at it. You know what I mean? It's just a fucking picture you put. I just thought it was funny to put in the bathroom.
I imagine
some llama's watching you take a piss.
Isn't it a llama or an alpaca? Very different beasts. Look the same.
That's very true. It's probably an alpaca. Llamas are very rare.
Alpaca is known for their glorious fur. Have you ever seen awesome photos of an alpaca?
Yeah.
Like with the hairdos and shit like that? So, like, what I imagine, just thinking about what I experienced, because it was shocking. You know, like when you don't know somebody's looking at you, and it's like all of a sudden you're like, "Holy fuck!" What I experienced with it. Let me take a break for a second.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. What I experienced, like thinking about this llama that's staring at you, it's almost like because the way I slowly looked up because I was like, something's looking at me. It's like I imagine it was looking down at my dick, and then we both slowly looked up and met eyes, and it's like highly disappointed at the fact I'm pissing in its pasture now.
And he just fucking spits on your dick.
Yeah. Let's fucking masturbate real quick.
I wonder what the distance is for.
I'll put this up here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I wonder what the distance is for like llama and alpaca projectile spitting.
I don't know if the alpaca spit.
Hell yeah, they do.
Do they?
Oh, fuck yeah, they do. They're the same animal. Come on.
Look that shit up, Jamie.
I shouldn't say that because...
Yeah, research that shit. We got the internet.
I shouldn't say they're the same thing. There's going to be some alpaca snob that fucking corrects me.
No. Little did we know.
Totally different.
Little did we know the alpaca connoisseurs are like, have been waiting. Like, we know you made a video singing an alpaca song like years ago when you used to be in the military.
Here's alpaca. If the offending party doesn't get the hint and back off, the llama or alpaca will regurgitate its stomach contents and spit it up to 10 feet away.
So they could have like hay or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Man
it's
flesh.
It's like a cow chewing cud.
Yeah.
Same thing. Stomach contents.
Carnivorous alpaca.
Fucking good. Oh, God, dude. If
What's
they had
that?
sharp teeth.
It's the name of the episode. That's it.
Carnivorous alpaca.
Yeah.
I fucking like it.
What's the
Can you imagine that shit? Yeah, what is the difference between...
Yeah, if they purposefully like eat the dead alpaca bodies or goats or something else that they all commingle with.
Well, that's the first thing that popped up because, you know, Google listens to me.
It's like,
right.
were you talking about alpacas?
Llamas have two coats, a soft undercoat and a coarse overcoat that's difficult to separate from one another, while an alpaca has only one coat of soft hair. The llama is bigger and can weigh up to 400 pounds.
So they don't use llama fur for fancy sweaters. It's mostly alpaca. That's what they sell, right?
Yep.
Plentiful hair.
So a llama is a lot bigger, actually, if you're looking at the pictures of them. An alpaca weighs up to like 150 pounds. While a llama can be fucking 400 pounds. That's a huge
How much
beast.
is an alpaca?
150.
They're tiny guys.
Yeah.
And they just look bigger because they're furry fur.
Yeah.
Alpaca. Oh, yeah. Dude, they're the exact same, just micro.
Yeah. Weird.
Maybe this is the big conspiracy that nobody talks about, is that alpaca is actually a small llama. It's like a pygmy version.
Good point.
It's like you get the alpaca and you're like, oh, look at this tiny fucking llama. It's like the pygmy.
A llama's like just a hairy camel.
What are those like micro pigs everybody gets?
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, there's a wild boar in my house eventually because it just grows
they
up.
weigh like 700 pounds. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Alpaca, dude. Alpaca, dude.
Now imagine if they were carnivorous. You remember that really old movie, Dr. Dolittle? Not the one with
Eddie Murphy?
Not the Eddie Murphy one. I'm talking about the one from like way back in the day.
I don't
remember the dude's name. But in the movie, dude's singing about a push me pull you, and it was basically just a llama.
That seems like some Disney hidden shit where they're like trying to trick. You're like, this humor's for adults too. We're talking about sex and fucking.
It was a llama, but it had two heads that fit. You know, they were connected like no ass, right? So they both had heads pointing in different directions.
I do not remember
and 4
this.
legs, and
Sounds like
couldn't-
terrifying.
It couldn't decide which way to go. It
Oh,
would just
yeah?
keep going, and then it started fucking dancing. Like
That's weird.
He just danced with it, like some formal dance. It was super weird. Dr. Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle.
Old
I
school.
don't remember that.
I'm gonna look up to pull that shit up, Mark.
You're the Jamie.
$1967.
Okay.
It was a musical, but had a lot of music in it. But it was acting too. Dr. John Doolittle, played by Rex Harrison, lives in a small English village where he specializes in caring for and verbally communicating with animals. So they end up like going and traveling with a bunch of these animals or finding new animals, rare animals. But that's where the Eddie Murphy one came from. They started talking to all these fucking animals. It was super weird.
I'm gonna give you this because it's weird to do this as a podcast and have no headphones on. Are you hearing anything?
Not yet.
Whoa. You hear anything on there?
Negative.
Nothing?
Nope.
You gonna be okay if I have headphones on?
I don't care.
Okay. Just take that shit off. You don't have to have them on.
Oh.
I'm just gonna keep them on and be weird. Because it just seems like more like a podcast when I'm doing this. I'll be better prepared if we ever do this again. Once a year podcast.
We're gonna do it again.
We missed every like podcast event that we normally do is like a bad movie review, which we've got to do. We have a list of them, right?
Yeah, we do. About? We have a list of movies. I don't remember what the movies are. We got them somewhere.
I think we don't. I don't know if we have to wait for Halloween to do it because that's what we've been doing. We've been doing, but there's so many good ones. Like
I sent you a few movies like in the past couple months that
perfect.
What was that? Santa Shark or something like that, or Christmas Shark? What the fuck?
It's Santa Jaws.
Santa Jaws. That's it. Yeah.
That's
He's
one.
wearing a fucking Santa hat.
I think the problem is with these shitty movies is we know like the whole fucking story once you see the trailer. It's like it's a fucking movie about some guy that drew a shark as Santa Claus, and then it came to life, and he was like, "What?" He said at the end, he goes, "Go to hell, you son of a fish." Classic, dude. That's somebody's art project they did.
Yep.
That's wild. Anyway, so what's been going on with you since the listeners have been dying to hear from us, and I'm saying that as a joke kind of, but the obviously there's still people listening to the podcast. I showed you the fucking analytics the other day, and I was like, damn, like we haven't put out an episode since like February or something like that, just because life's been crazy. I've been, I have a job. You have a job. Like,
we have jobs.
People assume that I'm super wealthy based on the podcast, but that's not the case.
Like, this is all you do.
That's from my AI OnlyFans. That's why I'm wealthy. No, it takes a lot of work to fucking make a fucking AI OnlyFans, and like, seeing the sheer amount of cock that just comes through my DMs to be like, hey, I know you're fake, but would you like to see my crippled penis? Like, it's weird. Anyway,
it's just complete writing.
Yeah, it's like hyper. Have you ever done? You've done
porn?
AI art,
oh,
right?
I mean, what?
Yeah, that's why this couch is here. It's kind of stinky. You've done the AI art, right?
Yeah.
Have you done anything with humans or
no?
Anything like that? Okay,
no.
Those are super weird on some of the AI things. It's like it'll put their legs backwards and like their body face. So it's like you don't even know what the fuck. Like your brain can't conceive a human with an ass in the front. Like,
or like how AI doesn't know how humans consume food. Like, they'll have their mouth all crazy, spaghetti and stuff.
Big old sharp teeth in it. Yeah, it's weird. Where was I going with this? I thought it was hyper focused.
I don't know.
Took the Adderall, man. No, we were talking about like what have you been up to? Because I've been super busy, and I've been trying to. What's new, pussycat? Hello.
Emerging from his fucking cave.
Yeah, just put hair all over your clothes. Are you talking about me?
So
I'll sneak out of here.
What you've been doing lately you've had your job fucking making you travel back and forth to these places.
I've been doing this the whole time I've been podcasting. So like, I obviously don't talk about it much, and I won't get into what I do as a job, but the show my butthole.
Well, neither will I, for that matter.
Yeah. So, but I've been working a lot, and I go on trips, and then this time of year, I usually get some time off, like a good amount of time where I can actually focus on stuff other than just I can have a life, you know. Other than that, I'm just traveling and working, and I work in aviation, so I like fly a lot, and so that's kind of been taking almost every free available moment, and I haven't been able to do any creative shit like the podcast or do art or anything like that. So that's part of it. We've obviously been doing Mega Cosmic Adventure, which is like, you know, we record still, but it's in a different project.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've been doing that, and you've been doing
a lot of work. So
you've been promoted a whole bunch, right?
Yeah, I've been promoted twice, and I have this department that I'm in now has been stood up, but it's not in its like final form yet. It's the easiest way to say this, but it's coming together. We have a boss now who has a clear agenda, a clear idea of where this is supposed to go and what we're supposed to be doing. And for my position specifically, it's going to be like going into facilities like up to 300 days before a merger or before a new implementation. And I have to see if that facility is ready for it.
Yeah.
So without getting too deep into it, because there's like non-disclosures and stuff.
Fucking matter.
I'm not one of those people that go in and destroy a company. I'm not anything like that. When I say merger, it's a good thing, and it's good for the company. It brings a lot of money. So a lot of change there. And then there's things in my personal life. Got out of a relationship. A long fucking relationship, so I'm single now.
You know that the only people that listen to this are guys.
Stay away, dudes.
Unless that's what you want.
No, dudes are
More
cheering
bros,
now. They're
dude.
like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah. Every person on both sides, everybody cheers.
Yeah,
and it's like no matter what the relationship or how good it was, like everybody says that person's a bitch or that person's a dick or whatever.
Even if
He's
you're
an
not
asshole.
thinking that, they're like, "Well, here's what I thought about her." I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you think about her.
Yeah, I hear my ex-wife talk about that shit to this day. Like, you know, I've been single for so fucking long, you know, here and there I've been dating, but it just never worked out because I like my free time and I'm very selfish with it and like doing camping and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I realized over the years that like having a relationship, while it's cool to like bang or fucking have somebody there you can fucking vent to, it's just like, this isn't negative about any relationship. I'm actually like not anti-relationship, as you know, I'm not anti-marriage or anything like that, but I just think some people are built for it. Not saying you're not. I'm just saying, like, I thought I was wanted to be in a relationship. I'm not a good person for a relationship. I'd be very open and honest about it. Much like one of our friends is just he should never be in a relationship. Like, and it seems that way that he's gonna, but I doubt that'll last. Or he's gonna like find some fucking weird blue-haired freak that like is completely opposite of what he is. But yeah, like I'm not
some llama lover.
Yeah. I'm not a type of person that wants, needs, or otherwise, and so therefore, I like to be alone a lot. Like I like to be creative and just sit there for hours and fuck around with like different artwork and like mostly digital artwork. I don't, you know, as I described to you, I don't fuck around with like pen or paper or anything like that. I do digital artwork, which is, you know, some real artists will say that's not real art, but I don't know. I've seen the shit I've done lately. Dude. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'll stay. But anyway, that's not me, and I think like that anyway, to go back, like no matter what happens in a relationship, people on both sides are saying that person was bad for you, you need a better person. Then people will go on and then they don't fix themselves because literally
jumping from one relationship to another and it fucking irritates me.
It's crazy. And people just don't, there's so many people these days that just don't acknowledge they have their own fucking baggage. Again, I'm not saying you I'm sure you have something going on, but they just don't take time to figure out who they are as a people or just spend time by themselves and fucking just heal from whatever fucking bullshit damage that occurred
Yeah.
in the previous
in
relationship.
a lot of cases, you don't even need to heal. You just need to like move on, right? And if you want to consider that healing, I guess that makes sense. But if there's no trauma involved, it's just moving on. You know what I mean? And this is one of those cases, like it was a long relationship. There was a lot of good things that happened. There was some bad stuff that happened. Not terrible things that happened.
Yeah.
We didn't kill anybody or anything like that.
You could have, though. It made a great episode until the cops came and got you.
But it was, it's to a point where the separation is mutual and we're just moving on.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing for me. I think it's gonna save me money. It's gonna save me time. It's gonna save me. I don't know. I'll be able to do more of what I want to do and progress in life the way I want to progress. So I'm excited for it.
Sweet. Yeah, it'll be a good chapter for you.
Yeah.
Not good because of, whatever happens, breakups happen, and cats enter the podcast studio, and you giving us all toxoplasmosis right now. No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I don't have toxo, so I'm just like, oblivious to it. Yeah. So I didn't know if you were going to get into that, but
I don't care.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Gives a fuck. No one listens to this shit. Just the fucking
nobody cares.
Thousands of people.
Nobody cares about my life.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta say this, and maybe I've talked about it before, but when people find out that I have a podcast or we do podcasts or anything like that, like the new project Mega Cosmic Adventure, the first thing that I've experienced most people say to me, "How many listeners do you have?" And I'm like, does that fucking matter to the dynamic of this conversation?
No, absolutely not. And my response to them would be, why don't you fucking listen to it?
Yeah. Well, they won't. None of them do.
Check it out, man. How many followers you got? I don't look at that.
Well, one of my buddies from Arkansas, he started listening to the other project and Mega Cosmic Adventure, again, plug for it. He listened to it. Now he's just waiting. He's just like, I need the other episodes. Everybody at work listens to it. Nice. It's fucking crazy. People that I don't really go around in my daily life and say like, hey, I do a podcast. You should listen to it. People find out about it, and it's kind of annoying to me when people I know find out about it, because then they're gonna listen to what we say here.
Yeah,
and it's like, bro, this is all fucking bullshit. I brought Jax, my son, to his grandparents for Christmas, and I usually don't spend time there ever because like I'm not married to his mom anymore, but they all brought it up, and I was like,
his grandma's like, God. Hey, got any cream?
Yeah, no, not Mega Cosmic Adventure. No one knows. I don't tell anybody about that. There's a couple of dudes at work that know about it. But
shit. You talk about this podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, just through my brain, I go back to the episode where I'm in Arkansas, drunk as fuck, talking about the lactating, like sympathetic shit, where it's like lactating an old bodybuilding man with like a terry cloth towel shirt. And he, sympathetic yawning, where if nobody knows what sympathetic yawning is, somebody yawns and then you're like, ooh, I gotta yawn too. Like some fucking weird tick that
contagious,
we have in our computer program brain for the fucking Matrix or whatever. And so like, I was like, what if, to call back to it, what would be weird? And then I just went on this fucking rambling thing of like a guy, like an old bodybuilding man with like a leathery skin that's going through the mall to go to Hot Topic.
It's been tanned way too much.
And you going to Old Navy to get some fucking terry cloth polos without the buttons and shit. And then he starts lactating all over because he sees a breastfeeding lady.
Yep.
That was the old baby episode. Go check that out. That's like one of my favorite ones I've ever done. That was by myself. But yeah, I started talking about that for some reason. So this is a problem in my brain, dude. It's like I start going off on these tangents. It's like Kanye West minus the Nazi shit. Like it's just like he starts talking and it's like just
fucking goes.
Yeah.
So you were talking about how you brought Jax over there and his grandma.
Oh yeah.
Grandfather were there and they kind of brought it up, right?
That's why I need you here.
I went to my mom's house. This kind of matches your story a little bit, but my mom brought up the podcast.
Yeah.
I was saying, oh yeah, Mike, I was telling her about you for something, and then she was like, the guy that you do the podcast with. I was like, yeah, what is that?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? And she's just like, oh, I tried listening to it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Tried is what everybody says.
My mom is a religious woman, doesn't curse, none of that, you know what I mean? And I was like, So what'd you think? She was like, I turned it off after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm surprised you got that far.
Did they find out some stuff about you? Was it with us or me?
Yeah, she listened to an episode with you and I.
Okay.
But
the ones with just me are fucking, as you know, just bonkers.
oh, she's probably got that shit. Like, she got her headphones in. She's just listening.
Lactating baby, what? Like, old man with lactation nipples?
Oh, my mom definitely wasn't into it, but I was surprised to find out that she tried listening to it. And I was like, how did you even know about going about listening to it? Did you go on Spotify? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
it's on everything.
I didn't dive into it.
It's on everything.
It is.
So, like, if you type in, if you're looking for it, sometimes even if you just type in violent, it comes up as like, because there's a bunch of listeners.
Well, you just
right?
go to violentprofessional.com and boom.
It's all over the internet. Like Violent Professional was something I started back with my first company. Not the first one, but the t-shirt company.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been around for a while. Yeah, it's so weird. And like the people there. So there's this one guy at work that found out about it. He's like, why didn't you tell me on the podcast? Started listening to it and he's like thinks it's funny, so he like shows his coworkers. So they're all in the I won't say where they're at, but he's a guardsman also, so he like is in a specific career field and he like they're usually like nerd type people, and he played it and they were all like, this is negative against women. It's all negative against women. Fuck this guy. And so he was like super embarrassed. He's like, yeah. He's like, I listened to a few episodes. First, he was like, dude, your fucking thing. I'm going to tell everybody about it. And then he played it for his friends. He's like, I don't really listen to it anymore. It's like, really, dude, it made that much of an impact. Because like when somebody's excited about it, I'll get excited too to talk about it. But then like they show other people because they're like, I know this guy, and then fucking all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I don't listen to him.
I don't like your humor.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Fuck him.
It's for me and Mark.
Right.
It's not for you guys.
This is how we vent.
Yeah, seriously. Fuck, man. So we got off track again. What have you been up to? You've been doing the
work. Out of a relationship.
No, you don't. It's over.
I said out of.
I have a relationship. I was like, no.
Out of a relationship.
It's fucked up. Imagine if you were like really emotionally damaged and I said that. Like, you're just like, fuck, I'm so sad about it. And I'm like, no, you don't, Mark.
Get the thumbnails of me just tearing.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, a lot of travel for my work.
Yeah.
It's more than I've done in the past year.
We're on the same schedule, basically, of travel, dude. You're gone all the time.
Dude. It's
different, opposite places, different
It's been
weeks.
nice in the fact that before I had this position like over 2 years ago, I was waking up fucking midnight, going into work, and it was just shit. I hated that.
Yeah, terrible.
I was used to it because I did it for so damn long, 16 years of my life, and wasn't getting any sleep. You know, I probably had the body of a goddamn 60-year-old just because I beat it to shit. You know what I mean?
We should put your cardboard cutout over here, fold it at the hips, and let it sit here.
Sit next to me.
Yeah.
Oh man, that thing.
Great.
So in the corner of the room, there is a cardboard cutout, life-sized, I might add, of me with a mullet, mustache, headband, and a chest rig on, with a walkie-talkie.
That could be your that section of the thumbnail. You just put that.
We'll have to write something different on it, and
I could change that. I do digital art, dude.
Digital art, hell yeah.
I just talked about it for
right. Carnivorous llamas on it.
Yeah.
Fucking good to go. But yeah, I made that for work for a safety project that I did back in the day. Anyways, the new position I'm in, I have a corner of my room that we're sitting in is actually my office, and it has a computer at it. And I don't get as much exercise as I used to, so I gained some weight. But
dude, I'm looking at your setup. That dual monitor setup is. I know it's nothing new to society or people that are dorks that have computers, but I say that, but I have a computer. I got like all of the computers, but I wanted something like that dual monitor setup.
Rad,
it's fucking
dude. I
dope.
fucking love it. I've got 2 widescreen monitors on there, and it's like right in my face, which is a little unfortunate because it's just way back in a corner, but. It works because my background. It worked a while ago because my background is neutral. It's just the wall color. But now I have to have a certain digital background on for my conference calls. So it says something up in the on the background now, and it sucks because I'm one of the few people that uses a headset when I'm on a call.
Is the background like one of those dorky things that major corporations do where they're like, you will have this logo in it.
Yes. So
lame.
It didn't used to be that way, and it's only this department. So the department that I'm in now, everybody has the same background because they want us to represent our department.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. The problem is when I'm wearing a headset like this, on my headset that's attached to that, there's a little bit of a gap right around the head, so it gives a halo effect to where the background...
And you can see the picture of the naked guy behind you.
Through this part of it. So it's like a white... Like the color of my wall behind me is showing through that part, and then the regular background is around it. So it creates a halo effect.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the few people that uses a headset because it's easier for me to listen and I don't know, pay attention if I have it on. And I can hear clear. I can use the microphone it works clear. A lot of people have like their phone and they get double muted. It's a pain in the ass. I don't have to deal with any of that because I use a headset. Plus, I'm partially deaf in my right ear, so it helps me to hear. And it's unfortunate because fucking Halo. I'm sitting there on the screen. I'm like, God damn it. I look at myself. I'm like, I don't want to look at myself.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Do you still have, in your new department, do you still have the social justice morning posts?
No, that person got a different job in HR. Perfect. Surprise.
HR people are the fucking worst. They're like, goddamn. I have my own experience. Person's very nice when you're not dealing with work stuff, but as soon as work, it's like so robotic.
Yeah.
Just nice person. Like this person, not going to say who or what this person is. Could be we're going to say it's a llama that looks at you.
Do they ask you what your pronouns are before having a conversation?
No, and that has not come up.
Thank God, right?
In the organization, but we'll see in this next year. Hopefully not.
What pronouns do you prefer?
This next year should be awesome. Little concerned, though, that I'm not on the schedule anywhere. But I was just given a bunch of fucking new Apple products.
Yeah, well, I mean, if
so
they
that's
sent
a pretty
you that,
good thing.
They got some plans.
And they're making sure that I'm using it. And like they're like, hey, this is going to be for the future. It's like, how long is my future? No. I just get very...
Next week, they're like, you need to send this stuff back.
Yeah. I'm just one of those people that always like... I just feel like... regardless of how much if I work, because we know how much people work, like you can kind of compare yourself to other people based on like how many hours they fly and stuff like that. I'm just like myself and a bunch of the other high performers in the company. We all just like, you can tell that we're just like fucking suck. Like you just like, because you don't want to, in the capacity that we work, like you don't want to be one of those people that they look at, right? It's just like when I was in the military, if you're like struggling or whatever, it's like you're just dagger eyes at you. You know? So I just feel always self-conscious about it, even though no matter how much I do for the company, it's just one of those things like, should I be doing more? You know? Yeah,
I get that sometimes too in my job. Not as high demand as yours, but...
Well, yours is... Well, I don't... You know, my schedule is I get weeks off to recover from the previous week. And I wouldn't say recover because it's not like super intensive other than flying around in planes, but I get a ton of time that's not doing the actual physical job. Yeah. It's like administrative stuff, but so it's a different kind of thing as yours. I would say that yours has this different level of intensity that's not...
Yeah, for sure.
You can't really compare them because I don't know if I could fucking deal with the stress of what you deal with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of learning new things. So I used to be on like the receiving end of these implementations and technology and stuff. And now I'm on the other end of it and I'm implementing it. So I have to learn it first.
Yeah.
And be able to implement it within a very short time span. So they give us deadlines, or they give us like a plan, like, hey, we want to have this all done by June.
Yeah.
In like 600 facilities. I'm like, that's not possible. That's not physically possible. But then they come up with this really ambitious plan, and we start to execute it, and then an error pops up. So we're like, okay, we're going to pause for 3 months while we figure this shit out. But then we move on to a different thing. And that's how it's been like the past 6 months or so.
Yeah.
A lot of changes that happen in my department. And now we're to this point where we have a clear path. We have a new boss. We have like new technology to roll out. And the plan that we have for the project that we're working on is extremely ambitious, and it's supposed to start like mid-January. So
Yeah.
we'll see how this goes.
Job security, though, man.
Yeah, well, this one project that I'm working on right now is supposed to go through 2027.
Yeah.
So that's job security right there. There's other positions that my boss wants me to apply for within the next month to 3 years.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it plays out. So kind of excited about it. A lot of change, but I needed some change. So it's good.
Change is good. We're like fucking robots always trying to improve stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go to the listener calls now. What's been going on with me? I was going to talk about Zen shit.
Oh,
Tucker Carlson told me I should do it.
It.
It's weird. When I was a kid, I experimented with cigarettes, and it always made me sick. Or like Skull. If you ever tried Skull, Cherry Skull, it's the most putrid shit. I know there's people listening that like llamas and Skull at the same time. That's reference. It's a good segue. Think
Llamas
about
are
they
just
spit, chewing on tobacco. It always made me sick, and I was always being on the wrestling team in high school. I was trying to like anything when you're in high school or whatever, trying to fit in, and everybody was dipping, and I always like couldn't hang with it, and I felt like I was always very self-conscious as a kid, and so like I tried to do it, and it just made me puke all the time until I had to not do it, But like upstate New York wrestling community, and like it's big up there, and football's big up there, but you do what your friends do, right? I would dip. I'd steal these little cans of fucking dip from the little convenience store down the road from this old man. Regret it to this day.
Is he shaking his fist?
Although
at
he was
you?
100. No, the way he did his like little.
Or he just never noticed.
Yeah, I was just I was a kid that didn't have a dad in his life telling me that this stuff's bad. I was just like, I was a latchkey kid, like just fucking whatever. And we would steal like candy and shit out of the thing, but it's probably gonna affect my employment. But if anybody hears this right now, I suppose, Anyway,
when I was 9,
yeah, that will affect it from me being like a fucking 16-year-old kid to like things that I've done that are like terrible as an adult that are like that stuff is not gonna affect me. But whoa, you took that, whatever. So anyway, I haven't done tobacco, and the only thing I got into is drinking in my life. And recently stopped that this past year, which is cool. It's like unlocking my brain and like not realizing that alcohol is how terrible it is. Listen to a podcast about it from Andrew Huberman, which he's got some good stuff. I don't listen to him that much, but when I want to find out a specific topic about like a science topic, he has like everything on there. That's awesome. So like I type in effects on alcohol in the brain, Huberman lab, whatever. And so I listened to that, and it like immediately made me stop drinking because I'm like, I know it's bad for me, but not like the science behind it. And like to hear the actual way that, I know what alcohol does, but just never really cared that much. I just cared about getting crunk. Dude.
Nobody does, right? So everybody is really, they hear the main concern of how it affects your driving, your personal life, and your social life.
Yeah.
And people are never, or your work life, you know what I mean? People are never thinking like, oh, what does it actually do to my body? Or what is it doing to my brain? Or
what it did to me, clearly, like I wasn't getting in trouble or anything like that. I have gotten in trouble, not serious trouble, but I have gotten in trouble in the past from drinking. Just like I would piss on a door in a fucking hotel or some shit, as like a small subject of things that I may have or may have not done in my life. Maybe got into fights, like maybe got fucking fucked up from it. That's so like what it does to me over everything is it saps my fucking creativity where I don't want to do anything but drink. And I don't do anything crazy. Like I'm not a alcoholic in the terms of going and getting a bottle of liquor. I would get a 6-pack and I would just fucking drink it and just kind of numb myself out. But what it does is, while it was great for a period of time to do podcasts by myself, which may still be good for that, I'm just not getting into it again. But what I realized, like drinking, it's like it makes me gain a fuck ton of weight. And like when I stopped doing it, it was like all of a sudden I was just like shedding pounds. Like It was crazy. I mean, and when you're drinking all the time, you're not doing good shit for yourself. You're not eating healthy. You're not doing that. So I was eating fucking crap all the time. And then I'd be like a little bit drunk and I'd go into bed, and it's like right before bed, like some of you that watch the content, I'm making fucking microwave grilled cheese or like fucked up nachos and shit. And I'm just downing that and immediately going to sleep. And like, so now that I'm not drinking anymore, I would say that it was a problem for me in the terms of like weight and health reasons, but like in terms, it didn't really affect anything about work or anything like that. But like, there's some people I work with that really, everybody stopped drinking at work, really. But they had some real fucking problems that affected like their health and whatever. One of the guys I know, like, he went to the doctor and was like, you're basically going to fucking die if you don't stop. So he didn't stop altogether, but he has like a few beers when in social situations, but not going home anymore, getting fucking blitzed on bottles of vodka and shit, which I'm like super proud of him. I've been meaning to tell him, and I want to call him and tell him that because we've talked about it before. He's in the gym now. He's like looking great. Like he just looks like a new person. It's just way better at fucking...
His skin clear up?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just everything. And so like for me, I don't know, I stopped in August because I go to Arkansas for like the summer, as you know, and my son is with his friend the whole time. They're doing sleepovers, doing dirt bikes and all that stuff. So he just stays over there because I like them to have a good time. And I don't want to, like I see him all the time. So it's not like, I'm like trying to, you stay at home tonight. So he's just always there because he has such a little time to hang out with that one friend from Arkansas. So I don't really see him. So at night, I'm like fucking bored. And I'm just like, shit, what am I going to do? Go on the internet, look at fucking social media, maybe play video games, not do anything that I really love, like creating and all that stuff. And so, like, I started losing weight, getting in the gym, and it's just like it compounds. Like, you start doing healthier shit, you start eating better. And I still have a time where, like, I'm starving, and I, like, go to grab cookies from the fucking thing and just eat the whole sleeve like David does just on a regular day.
Tiramisu in the Costco parking lot.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's... So, anyway, with that, I stopped drinking, but then I'm like, there's still an addictive nature to everything that's inside of me. And so I started doing fucking Zen because I heard Tucker Carlson say at one time that it's like, it's such an enhanced, it's like an enhanced, yeah, what is it? What is
his laugh?
Did you see what he said about it?
No.
Because he talks about Zen a lot.
Yeah.
And he talked about how it's like an amazing productivity. It's amazing for productivity, however you want to say it, if you're French or some other shit. And so I was like, I'll try it. Knowing it's a severely addictive
I was going to
thing.
say, isn't it like highly addictive?
Here's the thing with it. I think people that just do that, they're like addicted to it in the terms of, I've got 2 in my lip right now. So whatever. I'm not addictive, Mark. Shut up. No, but the thing is, like, my biggest addiction is caffeine. That is like the monster in my life that I have to no pun intended. It's like, as you have a monster.
Rigorous masturbation.
Yeah.
Got it.
Dude, that's crazy. I got a vasectomy too for all the ladies out there that want hot loads blown in them and not like get babies. Like no more babies. Anyway, making all these changes in my life. Stop drinking, started getting to the gym more because I hadn't worked out since the team house, dude. Like since I had closed that down in 2018, COVID happened. I just haven't been working out. I've been trying, I've been running and stuff like that, but just never. Running was like the most I did, but I was still going back and be like, okay, now I can drink because I fucking ran today or some shit. There was a mile.
To justify it.
I ran a mile to the 7-Eleven to get a 6-pack and then ran back.
And then walk back.
Yeah, walk because it was just like it was so heavy. The 6-pack bottles were all clanging around and shit. It's cardboard box, I still drink Bud Light. I drank it through that whole fucking nonsense transgender thing.
Thought you were drinking Coors Light.
I switched a little bit.
Oh.
Just because of peer pressure, because everybody was like, I started doing, like, the day that shit happened, I was like, fucking pitcher of Bud Light, please. And everybody's like, fucking faggot. Anyway, yeah, so I started making all these changes, got a vasectomy, because I was having sex with women, oddly enough. Something changed where I'm like, oh, my testosterone's back. I need to start fucking plugging these hoes. And I got, terrified. And I was like, I don't want any babies from these loose women.
I'm too old to be having these kids.
One of which listens to this podcast. She's going to hear it. Nice lady.
Sick.
Hopefully she skips past this part. But so I made all these changes. And then I was like, maybe I'll listen to Tucker Carlson. He's a fancy chap that laughs hysterically. He's got good takes on stuff. Slightly autistic, maybe. But he was talking about Zen, and then I looked it up on the internet. I asked a few buddies who do it. got some, some fucking input from him, and then I was like, let me try it. And I was like, oh, this shit's the fucking
I've been
shit,
doing
dude.
2 a day since.
No, it's way more than that. It's like I'll crush a whole can of that in a day.
Fuck.
But here's the thing about it is like, while I understand that Zyn or like nicotine products are super addictive, I'm not waking up like going, I need to put a fucking pouch in my mouth. That's like literally I put one in when I came here. What time is it? 5 o'clock. So like 4 o'clock when I was driving over, or before that. Yeah, I got here at 4, I think. I put one in and then I'm like, oh, this is fucking, it's nice, right? But the caffeine is something I cannot fucking kick. And I've tried. And if I don't have caffeine, I'll puke and shit. Like, it gets bad. Like,
so I got to the point where it was giving me like migraines.
And it doesn't really work on you either.
Yeah, caffeine doesn't do shit for me. I could fucking down a Bang Energy with 300 milligrams of caffeine and then take a nap.
Yeah.
It doesn't do shit for me anymore. It's unfortunate. But I limit myself on the amount of energy drinks that I have throughout the week now.
Yeah.
Like, I could quit cold turkey, and I've done it, and I've like gone 6 or 7 months without an energy drink. But over the past few months, I'll do like 1 or 2 energy drinks a week.
Yeah.
Just
I just did. I woke up and drank 2. I'm serious.
Just to try to like curb myself from thinking I need one in the morning, So I'll, like today, I just cracked this one open, and this is the first one I've had this week. So
the people say that the more you drink caffeine, the less effect it has. It's not for me, dude. Like, it's the first thing I consume before anything. And I think that going on the caffeine thing, why nicotine is supposed to be way more addictive, right? But I'm not craving nicotine. I've been doing this for like a month or whatever it is. But I have fucking a rock star on my fucking desk so that I can wake up and go get it. I don't even give a fuck if it's cold or otherwise. I'm just like, put it in there and I'll drink 2 of those right away. So I think that's partly why my body is so conditioned, and maybe things will change. Maybe because I don't, some days I'm like, I'll not do it. And then I don't think about it. I don't even think about it. And then it's on my desk or whatever when I go to check emails and shit like that.
Well, people talk about replacements, right? So like, you have a can of Liquid Death behind you. Maybe try swapping that out. You know what I mean? Put the Rockstar away somewhere and just have a Liquid Death can.
Just maybe drink water. There's water in that.
Because you just crack that open, you're like, oh, maybe your brain will think, oh, if I drink one of these in the morning, it's like the same thing.
I don't talk about military stuff that much on the podcast because I don't really like getting into that stuff, as you know, and listeners probably know that by now. But like, there was one deployment where it was like that. I didn't drink any water for like the whole deployment. I just drank these little Rip It cans. That was it.
Rip It's the whole time?
Yeah.
Jesus. Were you just
I'm sure I drank some water, but it was like
piss and carbonation.
No, dude. No. Like, I piss clear when I'm like drinking energy drinks. It's weird. There's like the ones with like low, like super low sugar. I don't drink sugar free like that one.
Yeah.
But the ones with like 4 grams of sugar in it, those I'll piss clear on it. I don't, I drink water though. Like, that's one of the things I changed also. I'm drinking like Liquid Death, which actually has sugar in it, which is kind of disappointing. I found out.
I didn't know that.
I was drinking it for a while, and I was trying to like do this fasting shit because I get all up on the fucking fitness trends and whatever. Anyway, but yeah, like I think why I don't find it as addictive as some like that would be doing it for this long. For like a month, I would feel like I'd be like craving it. I'm not, because caffeine is always like the fucking thing that I go to. It's not. Anyway. Yeah, so I started to get a little bit about me. I got a vasectomy, again, for all the ladies that want a hot load blown in them and no fear of having me pay child support for my DMs. Fucking indecent actions. And then I started fucking doing nicotine. But what I find, and this is not a promotion because I'm not promoting it. I don't think it's right for everybody, right? For me, it is because I'm probably autistic. I have some ADD for sure. Obsessive compulsive fucking stuff going on from my childhood. But for me, it's just like I have so much lack of focus a lot of times. Like, my brain runs so fast, it's hard to go to sleep. I have real insomnia issues, as we talked about, still to this day. And I'm more of a night owl, but what I find is it kind of stops it stops my brain from going all over the place.
Yeah.
That's great for if I'm like the brain firing at 1,000,000 miles per hour is great for if I'm trying to come up with a concept or something, or like the Mega Cosmic Adventure on Spotify and everywhere else you listen is when a lot of the ideas that I come up for, like, say, podcast episodes or like anything that I've done is because I write shit down. And like, if I'm in a sauna or something like that and my brain is just firing a million miles per hour, I can sit there and kind of go, what about this? What about this? What about this? And like, I'll write that shit down, a million things in a document, on like a share drive thing. And then that's where I get a lot of if I'm running or working out or something, I can fucking come up with a million ideas. Yeah. The more I move and work out. You
just write this shit in your phone?
Yeah, I just pull up the documents and I just go, nice. Type. I'm typing everything I'm thinking, and then it either is used or not. But it's like, there's a lot of, like, with the story that we're doing, there's a lot of things that need to be figured out and how to tie the story together. Yeah. I was going to talk about some dude I knew from my ex-wife's family that I was talking to over Christmas. He's actually, and I don't know because my brain, obviously, I said it fires at a million, so I get lost in the thought or whatever. But I was talking to him about stuff, and he's actually like, he's kind of a freelance director, videographer, and he did a bunch of music videos. You know, Tom McDonald?
No.
So he's like this tatted up, braided dude that does a lot of like political stuff. He's from Canada, but lives in LA and stuff like that. Anyway, he's a creative type too. And we were talking about like the things that happen in your brain as like creative stuff, where it's like you just you'll stay up for hours and just think of fucking ideas and whatnot. But I offered my stunt work ability because nice. I talked about the skydiving video that I did as like the stunt man wearing my dad's clothes.
To jump out of a plane?
Yeah. But he was like, I've always wanted to do stunt work and shit like that. And I was like, I'm totally fine with that. I was like, I'll do it for free because it's a creative project. Yeah. And if you're going to fly me out and do all that stuff to LA or whatever,
fuck yeah.
Totally will fucking do something. Just, I don't want to fall down a cliff and like get fucking broken bones and shit. But you got something else. Like
I'm all for jumping off.
I was like, you need to shoot me out of a fucking cannon or something like that. I'm like, fucking sign me up.
Hell yeah.
That'll be cool. So anyway.
Did I ever tell you I applied to stunt school in
Did you?
In LA?
No, you've never said that. That's fucking awesome.
I
like the idea of it, but I'm like I would, I offered up my, like, if he needs a stuntman for something, I'd go do it. But I'm like jumping, like you've seen Hot Rod?
Yes.
Where the guy, he's dancing, he's dancing rage, and he falls down a cliff. That dude like broke his fucking bones and shit, falling down, smashing into trees.
That was a hell of a fall. Yeah.
It's a nasty fucking scene.
Lone Survivor when they're falling down the fucking cliffside in the movie.
Yeah, they all get fucked up.
Running into trees and shit, but they can all stand up and walk away.
Yeah. Anyway, tell me about this fucking stunt school.
When I was younger, way younger, like 15 to 18, right? Very, very high point in my life for breakdancing. That's when I was like doing all that shit. I mean, I did it for 13 years, but that's when I was like,
I love that you're a fucking breakdancer, dude. Like, you're just this fucking, like...
unassuming.
Right leaning, like, fucking gun-toting son of a bitch. And then you're like, I also pop and lock on the reg, dude.
So...
Can't anymore, though. Not like you used to.
I could still... I could do, like, top rock and stuff, the dancing part.
No.
But, I mean, I could absolutely still do it. Yeah, not as long. I'll get winded really fast.
Yeah.
But during that time... I was doing a lot of like martial arts stuff. I was doing the breakdancing. I was very fit and I was able to do flips and all kinds of shit, right? So I was like, man, it would be cool to have a job as a stuntman. I used to watch Jackie Chan stunt things on TV. There's like specials, Jackie Chan stunts, like documentaries about that. I was like, man, this would be fucking cool. So I applied and got accepted to USC and I was like, that'd be cool to get accepted.
What's USC? Is it University of...
Southern California. At that time, I was like, what if I could get into like stunt school? That'd be fucking cool. So I researched and did some digging into stunt schools down there in like Hollywood area and stuff. And there was one, I forgot the name of it, but it was like $12,000 a year or something to get into this beginner's stunt school thing. And I was like, I'm going to fucking do that. I was a waiter at a restaurant at the time. You know? I'm like, I'm totally going to do that. This is going to be my future. And then I didn't do it because I got a job somewhere else. And I realized like, that's
current job?
Yes.
Okay. Current company.
And I had some knee injuries that happened. And I was like, it's probably not a good idea to be a stuntman at this point in my life. And I ended up like traveling to Japan and doing all this crazy shit anyways. So, I actually applied to a stunt school. I don't know if I ever got accepted or not. I don't remember. You probably don't need to be accepted to one of
You
those.
just got to be.
You just got to pay and just go.
What would they do? They would just like interview to get a psychological evaluation if you're able to do something like that?
I don't know. It was like there was an application process. You had to apply.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's more along the lines of, hey, you just pay us this money, and if you don't pass these exams or these trials and errors and whatever, then you obviously can't be a stuntman. You know what I mean?
You have the first thing is
you're afraid of heights. Can't do this, dude.
Is this more of a magician thing where you like pull the thing underneath?
You have to be able to fucking yank.
Pull the tablecloth out from the dishes.
Like, how do you get in? How do you get a reputation as like, oh yeah, you got to use this stuntman for that movie. He's perfect for that.
There's I assume that it's pretty close to it. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Brad Pitt was a stuntman.
Mm-hmm.
He was and I assume you create a name through your work, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you're in some sort of union. Or like, we don't get paid enough millions of dollars a year.
This is the stuntman union.
Yeah.
I've heard about actors or people who portrayed, I guess you could call them actors, like Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Okay.
MMA fighter / actor.
Yeah.
He played B.A. Baracus in the A-Team.
Okay.
The remake.
Yeah.
And he was saying he did a lot of his own stunts in that movie, but he also had a stuntman. And he would do these stunts of like falling off of like a short thing and land on the ground. But then when it came to like heavier stunts, falling 3 stories and then through a window, he was like, yeah, let that guy fucking do it. So the guy, he was like, yeah, it was crazy. The guy was athletic. He was super cool. And then he made the comment, but he gets paid way more than me.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the stuntman made more money than he did in that movie.
I assume it's like really in the kind of like not the same, but in my industry I work in, it's the reason we get paid a certain amount is because of the inherent risks that are associated with it. I don't know.
I wonder if there's inherent risk pay or like hazard pay for different types of jobs out there that like,
I'm sure
you wouldn't think pay.
Yeah.
Like consider like social work, right? So Seattle, for example, Seattle's fucking overrun with homeless people and needles and shit. And if you do social work, there's a good chance you're going to fucking get poked with a needle or come in contact with some schizo who's going to be dangerous to you, right? So, or like a tour guide. So what if you're a tour guide for Underground Seattle, right? So that if you don't know about Underground Seattle, there's tours that take you underneath Pioneer Square and like the rest of Seattle, or not the entire Seattle, but certain sections of Seattle. Seattle was built on top of an old city.
It's really, to talk about a little bit, it's actually like, I'm not as much of like go to museums or see shit as you. Like, I like history, but not to where I'm like, let's go see this thing or whatever. I know you're interested in that. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just like, I'm not the type of dude that I'm the type of dude that likes to fucking sit there and just think of things that I could make from nothing. Right. Like that's my jam. But, I did go to the underground thing because I was looking for something to do with my son, and I was just like, fuck, I'm bored, dude. And went up there and saw it, and it was super interesting. It's crazy that there's all of this shit under Seattle. Yeah.
And like back, I don't remember what year it was, like the early 1900s, but they had these walk paths that ended up being lower than the street because they had flooding issues. They had sewage issues was like the big one.
Yeah, big shit streams.
And they'd have these walking planks next to the streets, but 30 feet down, they basically built the streets up 30 feet. So you'd be walking on the sidewalk 30 feet down. You'd have to go up and down ladders to get in stores or to the whorehouse or wherever the fuck you were going, right? And in this underground Seattle, which they've completely built and leveled with the street now, so there's buildings underneath the ground that are still intact, like that whorehouse. It's like a big attraction for one of the tours. Yeah. There's like haunted tours you can do and stuff, but you can walk through these tunnels underground that you look up and there's like these glass grating in the street or on a sidewalk that's letting light into underground Seattle, and you can look up and see it's kind of like a mosaic kind of thing. Pretty cool. But there's also
after they built up the city, that section was still functional, right?
Yeah,
is that why they had the light? It's what he's talking about is like the mosaic things. It's lets the light in, but it's all the glass is like purplish and stuff like that, and it's really
Purplish
cool.
and green.
You don't even know. You just when you're walking on the street, if you don't know anything about it, if you don't know there's an underground section, which how don't you? And if you're from the area, like it just looks like artwork on the not great artwork, but it looks like somebody put some accents and shit on the ground, and you don't know there's literally people down there right now.
Yep. And a lot of times homeless people, because the homeless problem is so rampant up in Seattle that they had people living underneath the overpasses and fucking up on Capitol Hill, wherever in Seattle, and it was just super overrun with homeless people. A lot of those people over the past, 50 years or so have been living in underground Seattle. There's sections of that are blocked off. They're like, yeah, we're not going to take a tour this way because that's where all the homeless people are.
That looks like the best parts to go to. Like those are the dark sections. And I'm like, man, you could literally, there's nothing blocking it. You could just go in there.
Walk for who knows how long. And you don't know what's back there. It's kind of like in Vegas, they got those like the water tunnels or what are the sewer tunnels?
They call them the rat people.
Yeah, the rat people.
That's so.
And that place will get flooded every now and again because of some crazy rain that comes through. But people living in those tunnels that haven't seen daylight in years. You know what I mean? But it's interesting to think, like, do those tour guides get hazard pay? Like, what happens if they go down there? And
that's how you're tying it together.
Yeah, like think of that. Like, it's dangerous down there. What if the lighting goes out? You know what I mean? And it's nighttime and they're down there closing up shop or something. They hold weddings down there, and like there's big amphitheater areas of underground Seattle that they hold weddings.
I don't think I've seen that.
I walked by it and they were talking about it, and there was a reservation thing on it, and people like reserve the space all year long to go over there and have their wedding in underground Seattle.
It's interesting. You want something unique.
It's a weird thing to do.
Usually people do it on like the Catalina wine mixer place.
Somewhere with a nice sunset and flowers, but no, somebody wanted to go underground and this fucking people,
it's killer.
There's homeless people and just have a wedding there. It's cool.
I mean, what the fuck does it matter these days? Weddings are fucking bullshit anyway. You're all getting divorced. Who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean, like, what's going on underneath the ground? There's worse shit going on above ground. Yeah. Like, I can see why people would say, all right, we're not going to have our wedding up in Pioneer Square because it smells like piss. But if we go underneath, it's pretty clean. Yeah. There's less homeless people.
Tell me about this shit with Chaz and Chop. This is back in the news, right?
It is back in the news.
Is it just, so you told me that it's Chaz, Chop, right? Like, interchangeable names. But that hasn't been still going on because it got broken up, right?
That ended a while ago.
So what is actually going on?
So it's back in the news because in the same area, if you remember during the BLM riots and all that shit, when they took over that area, what I don't remember what it stands for. Is it Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone?
Yeah.
For Chaz. Anyways, a group of people took over. Remember there was like a gangster, he was like handing ARs out of his Tesla.
He was like a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
Too.
Dude was handing AR-15s out of his the trunk of his Tesla for people to be like guards for this place.
Irony.
It's extreme irony. And it got to the point where that guy, I don't remember if he died or fucking got arrested or what.
I don't know. His I think his address got leaked too because he has Airbnbs and shit.
Oh, jeez. Man,
he's like
a
business dude.
Well, it's back in the news because in this area of Chaz Chop that was designated as like a public zone, they built a garden and they dubbed it a BLM garden. And they're like, they said this is a community garden. And what they said was this garden provides food for the community, and we have a lot of people that come here, and this is their only source of food. You know, trying to play the pity party.
That's interesting, right? Until the homeless dude shits on your jalapeno plants.
Well, I mean, that's how you fertilize it, right?
I've experienced this, as we've talked about.
My question is, who was tending those plants? How long was the garden successful, if it was successful at all?
Yeah.
How many people actually got food from it? Did they get sick off of that food? The reason it's back in the news is because at 6 a.m. the other day, the city of Seattle came through and bulldozed it and got rid of the homeless camp.
Fucking metal.
That was sitting around it. And this, mind you, around Seattle, they had homeless camps that were known for prostitution that were 100 feet from a preschool. Like, that's how bad this shit is up there. And bulldozing it is something they should have done a long fucking time
Dude,
ago.
we've been talking about that on for a long time. That what's the solution to the fucking homeless problem? You push them into
Bulldoze
the
it into
fucking
the
ocean.
So
Bulldoze them.
in Olympia, they've put boulders everywhere that the camps were really popular.
Yeah.
Except for a few places, and made it so that they can't set up their little camps. So they're getting the picture up in Seattle like, hey, we need to do what fucking San Francisco and
Lacey
Olympia
did.
Bulldoze and get ready to clean up these streets so it doesn't smell like piss and shit all over the place.
Yeah. Those boulders
It's
were
insane.
interesting because it immediately stopped the homeless
Oh, yeah.
camps that were right on the border.
And you can tell these homeless people are not like innovative at all because it'd be really easy to just put some wood on top of those boulders and just rebuild, right?
Just put a tent right on
Be
top
like,
of it.
sweet, now my shit won't get
If
wet
you're-
because it's elevated.
If you're somebody that like likes to fuck with the government in that regard, like just that's interesting. Like put plywood that you steal from Home Depot, the dumpster in the back, and because there's that Lowe's that was right there,
Yep.
and go steal wood from there, put something up there, and go fuck you.
just build right on top of the rocks.
Yeah,
Those are cornerstones for your new fucking camp.
yeah, dude.
It's easy.
And you have storage underneath.
Yeah.
You know,
Fucking awesome.
but
not-
you know,
not
no,
that
they're
I
not
would.
thinking of that. You're thinking from the perspective of somebody that's a productive member of society, isn't all drugged up and fucking thinking
We're in a
about
fucking
like,
house right now.
where can I find a tent to go sleep next to the fucking Hobby Lobby?
and do drugs and smell like ass.
Remember that time we all got fucking Reubens from Arby's? Because Arby's is a great establishment. Fuck all you people that talk shit
is
about it. It's got the
delicious.
meats, dude.
Has the meats.
Not sponsored by Arby's, but they do have the meats, and I want it. So anyway, we were sitting there. Like, remember that time where it was just like homeless people fucking everywhere, fucking
They
seagulls?
were burning shit.
Yeah, seagulls and fucking people setting the fucking dumpster on fire. It was like, how are these people going with their fucking family members to get fucking popsicle sticks to do hobbies from the Hobby Lobby?
I told you about when I went in there and there was a dude that was shooting up, right?
Yeah. Talk about it though.
So I go in there and they closed off the bathrooms to Hobby Lobby because people would just go in the bathroom and shoot heroin and do all kinds
Isn't
of drugs,
it
right?
Hobby Lobby the perfect place to have a hobby?
You think so?
The fuck, man?
So they close off the bathrooms and then we're walking around one side of the store and I hear a lady yelling, telling somebody to get out, and I hear this person yelling back saying "fuck you" and threatening them and stuff like that. I'm like, oh shit! Like my first thought is go fucking intervene and kick this vagrant out of this place and be the alpha, right? And it's a disregard for my own safety, but at the same time, I'm just sick of their shit. So I'd rather just get it over with because I know nobody else will in this beta ass town. So
it's a very different group of homeless people up here. They're very aggressive.
Yes.
They're very fucking aggressive about like you giving them money and assistance and all this stuff, and they'll threaten you, and you feel it's like uneasy. Whereas like somewhere like Arkansas, if there's homeless, which is very not something that happens, but when you see them, they're not dicks and they're not fucking with you. They're just like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, you see a beach bum, they're like, hey, bro.
There's no beach bums. There's no beaches in Arkansas.
Not in. I wasn't referring to Arkansas.
Yeah.
That'd be. Would you just go to the beach in Arkansas? The beach bums.
Yeah.
Are you fucking high?
Those beaches suck there. Around fucking man-made lakes.
Man-made lakes, no sand. It's just fucking rock and dirt.
It's like fucking sandstone and shit. Yeah.
You know where they have the homeless people living at now in Lacey and Olympia?
I haven't seen a single fucking one, dude.
There's two places that they're staying at. And you'll notice now that you're back, you're going to notice this couple places you drive to, okay? One of them is across the street from Denny's in the La Quinta Inn. It's back in the trees.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's in that swampy area.
Yes.
That they're trying to sell that land as commercial, but they can't.
So
it's just a fucking recessed
the
area.
La Quinta Inn is where they're housing them.
Okay. Whoa.
Another place is the King Oscar Motel off the exit 111.
I know where that is, yeah.
It is no
I haven't
longer,
spent much time there. Don't let it fool you.
It is no longer the King Oscar Motel. If you drive by it when you go to Walmart next time, you'll see that it's painted blue. They built a fence around it. And there's about 30 people waiting at that bus stop every single day throughout the day. I went by there one time, and there was a dude that had like a little TV screen set up on the electrical box. They wired electricity from the electric box to his TV, and they were playing Xbox.
Awesome.
These homeless people were out there having game day for fucking Xbox. That was impressive. They're innovative in that regard, but Apply that to a job. God damn, man.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, they
get so much assistance. It's like, why do they need a job?
They've taken these people off of the streets, but they've provided them housing, and they're still vagrants.
Yeah.
These people, 90% of them don't work. They're still standing on the street corner begging for money. They just have a roof over their head now, and their place probably is filled with drugs and shit.
Yeah.
I would hate to walk through those halls. Let me just say that.
Dude.
It smells like butt and fucking marijuana.
Butt and more butt. Butts and more butts. That's crazy. Like, I haven't seen them. But it's like, is it really that bad? Send them to La Quinta Inn. I know it's not like ideal for any of us taxpayer dollars, but
it's good to as like a humanitarian thing, right? You've given these people running water. You've given them a roof over their head, and then there's multiple places. I'm sure they have food delivered there. I'm sure that I'm not saying like they're calling up fucking Uber Eats and shit like that, which they probably do, but I'm saying like they probably have a cafeteria in that place where they can get like a soup kitchen, right?
Yeah.
That would make the most sense. But it's crazy to me that they'll provide people a place like that, but the mother of 3 that's about to get evicted because she lost her job is going to get evicted because she lost her job.
I know one of those people. Yeah, it's weird. Fucking homeless people, dude. It's been such a problem here, and all they had to do was drop off a bunch of boulders, and it kind of fixed it.
Yeah, fix the outdoor.
We have all these rocks. I wish there was something we could do with them. Where'd you get these rocks from,
Where
man?
did the rocks come from?
They just showed up.
How much did they cost?
Do you remember? I've been down to I-5 section the whole time.
I watched them install the rocks that were on the Hobby Lobby side.
Okay, I did not see anything. One day, almost like
they were just there.
I was driving down south on I-5, and then I came back. I was like, "There's fucking no tents."
Fucking wizards dropping rocks.
Yeah, wizards. Speaking of wizards, I like all the AI fucking wizard things where it's like going like how a wizard on a quest, and it's like, how does he make a living as a wizard? You know what I'm talking about? Like the wizard videos that they use AI, and they're like, get all of your. And they do it in like old English, so it's like. Get all the maidens to start walking the street, and it's like a wizard with a pimp hat on and a staff or some shit. Yeah, those are fucking great. AI, dude. I wonder if they use ChatGPT to come up with concoct that plan to put the boulders.
Shit. Yeah, you ask the computer what's the easiest way. That is you should ask ChatGPT next time you go on it. Be like, or have you done that? How do we get rid of homeless people?
No, I use Chat.
Don't say how do we get rid of them.
I use ChatGPT to make
for creating things.
Creating things, which enhances my ability to think through problems. And then I use other AI problems to create my dream woman, and just not just a picture of her, but having her do all kinds of indecent shit. And then I think about masturbating to it, and then I'm like, this is not a real thing. What is wrong with you? You literally can take any woman or whatever and punch it into these AI things and fucking like, she's naked. I've always wondered about that.
It's the virtual real doll.
Yeah.
But you don't pay for it.
Speaking of real doll, I want to find someone that's fucked one of those things.
If you fucked a real doll,
let us know.
Let us know. Don't send us pictures.
They look realistic, but I have my thoughts that maybe it's not. And I've talked about what do you do with it? Like once you're done with it, because you get tired.
Put it in your shame closet. Dude.
Spend like $5,000 on one of these fuck dolls. Yeah, put hooks in its back. That's how I keep all my women in the closet.
You always see these news reports of like people finding bodies in dumpsters or in a lake floating, and it turns out to be like a fuck doll.
Yeah, you've got to bury those things in the leave pile.
Bury them, dude,
and just have one hand out where it's like it's already in the shape of like a jerk off hand because you've been sitting there fucking that hand. It's got to be outside the fucking leave pile.
Oh man. And then there's dudes that fall in love with them. That's super odd.
Yeah. There's a movie about it. Damn. It's Ryan what's his name? Who's that dude that was in Barbie movie? Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
He's in a movie about having a relationship with a fuck doll.
Oh shit.
Gets one delivered to his house, and that's his relationship.
I mean, he was in
Lars and the Real Girl or something like that.
Oh fuck.
And it's like
he was in Blade Runner. That was kind of the same thing.
Enamored. I just thought it was awesome that all these chicks like are just so like enamored by him, and that he has a movie where he has sex with a real doll or a fake, like a fuck doll, and has a relationship to a point he's like turning down relationships with other women. He's like, there's a meme that's going around right now where he's like, I've shared it with you guys, but it's like whenever any woman talks to him, he's like, oh, hi, and he runs away. It's from that movie. Because this girl tries to like talk to him and he's like, okay, thanks. And he like runs away all awkward. It's great.
Oh, man.
The guy that was in Notebook that you all love has a movie where he fucks a fake doll and has a relationship. Anyway. Yeah, so you put him in the leaf pile in your woods behind the dumpster.
Somewhere local. Where
next to my house. 10 feet, 10 paces as the crow flies.
And they're like, I wonder where this came from. And they never check the closest place.
That'd be awesome if
you're like, not going to knock on your... Sir, have you seen this before?
If you found like a treasure map and you're like, holy fuck, this was behind the fucking Mona Lisa or some shit. And it leads you on this fucking path and you think you're going to find the Independence or the Declaration of Independence. It's like a fucking fuck doll in the woods somewhere. It's like
all dirty, just fucked up.
It's messed up, full of cum. Like
you got to hang one from a tree.
Just like up there in the woods.
Tie it to the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Just like far enough when you're driving by that if you're like, or walking or something like that, and you're like, holy fuck. And you're like looking, it's just a silhouette of a fuck doll hung from a tree. People would freak out.
They would.
Somebody would have to handle that thing too. They'd be looking up, depending on how far away it is. And if it was dirty enough and it was like feet were like in a certain position, it's just like this, like you cock, because it's all, I assume a skeleton in there, like a metal skeleton or whatever, cock its head so it's like this, like just fucking hung up and then it's all drooping down. And high enough in a tree, like the tall pine trees.
So it's difficult to get to.
You can't see it. People think that there's somebody hanging up there. Cops come and then they have to handle this fucking cum-filled fucking silicone doll.
We got to get this ladder truck to come.
Yeah, just this whole process.
People are bystanders watching. People recording it on their cell phones. It's going to go viral.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tiffany's up in the tree.
False alarm. It's just a fuck doll.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's all dripping on him. Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
Maybe
what
take maybe take like some sort of fucking animal carcass covered in it. So it's like just put the scent on it. So it's like people think it stinks like death.
Smell a dead body.
Yeah. You go through the fucking process.
They're going to end up putting rocks all over the place and boulders so people can't.
Yeah.
People need to stop fucking things in the woods and stringing them up. It's a terrible idea.
Or you could, while it's hanging, fuck it, like have a real challenge for yourself. ChatGPT. So that's interesting. Yeah, we talked about that. I've been loving it. I don't think it's as fearful as possible. People should be afraid of ChatGPT per se, but AI maybe.
It really depends on the nature of the AI. Like the AI that us regular people use.
Yeah,
it's not very smart. It's controlled.
Yeah,
like there's things it can and can't do. There's a lot of things that it doesn't fucking know. And then when you try to make it create things that are real, like to compare or like, hey, what do you think about this? They're like, I don't fucking know. ChatGPT just has no idea.
It thinks that people can't eat spaghetti. And like I made one the other day, like an art thing, not ChatGPT, but like an art
like
thing.
Make it with 6 fingers. A person with 6 fingers.
It was like this person with their torso was the opposite way. So like they were facing the camera and it was just like this giant ass, because I'm throwing giant ass into the prompt. And then there's like some leg coming out of the back side of them and like going behind them and shit, and you can see the toes. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, what picture did you pull this from?
Yeah.
I want 2 dragons intertwined looking back at me, and it comes up with that.
Just extra limbs and shit.
Yeah,
it's just ChatGPT and AI have no idea, unless you're getting into like special military AI. I don't think we have an issue.
Well, I think you can. There's some programs that are like have it down, but those are like the paid ones. I don't pay for that shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking based on the free version of ChatGPT, it's been it's helped me out with a lot of shit. Like I can even like there's some things like, for example, pretty basic, but I write a bunch of shit I have to do, and I ask it to prioritize, and it just immediately spits out how per the hour how I should be doing things. And I'm like, holy fuck. I haven't followed any of the stuff that it does, but it's like, it's interesting to see what it can do. And like, if it fucks something up, you just tell it like, no, this is what should be. And it goes, okay, thanks. I'll remember that for next time. And then it's like,
remember when it like first came out and there was a dude that created a business
Yeah.
because he asked GPT, what kind of online store should I make that's going to be the most lucrative? And it like step by step gave him the instructions and he basically ran the business for him.
Yeah.
That's smart shit.
Yeah. I asked it for a pressure washing business. What's the business model for that? And spit one out.
Nice.
So I was talking to my son about like stuff he could do when he's like 16 or whatever. I said, fuck working at like McDonald's when there's Chat GPT. It'll just tell you what you could do. We fucking created a pressure washing business.
Hell yeah.
Mainly because I like pressure washing shit. Like make it clean.
It's therapeutic, man.
Yeah. Like go out once a year and I pressure wash the fucking little parking area. And it's like, man, that looks nice. I wonder if you could do this for a business. Hey, Chat GPT, what the fuck can we do this?
I have 2 pressure washers. One doesn't work.
We're going to start one of those, man. One of those doesn't work?
I actually got, because I like clean the carburetor on it.
You see my dad brain kicking. I'm like, your pressure washer doesn't work?
You can fucking have it if you can fix it.
No, I don't want to fucking fix it. I don't want to fix it.
But I have an electric one that I got recently, and not super recently, but the last one I bought was electric, and I was skeptical. I'm like, electric ones are going to be shit, right? It's actually really fucking nice. It works really well. And my dumbass was like, I'm going to test this stupid electric. Fucking hurt. Yeah. Oh man, that thing was powerful. Cut through.
Anyway, now that we're on the pressure washer subject, I think this is a good place to fucking call it for the episode.
That works for me.
It was great to get back. Great to get back in the recording. I think we got to do it more because like this, I love this shit.
This is a good like practice run for another. Yeah, dude. You know what I mean?
It seems like the last few ones have been practice.
It's like we had. It's kind of like ring rust for fighters, right?
Yeah.
This is mic rust.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta get back into it.
It's not. I don't think it's like a. I wouldn't call it a skill. The camera shut off. So perfect. Anyway, yeah, it's perfect to. I don't think it's hard to get back into it. It's just like finding time to do it, which is the challenging part. Which
and being able to tie the stuff together. You know what I mean?
That's the clever. That's all it is. We only do this so we can tie shit together. It's I think that we were going to talk about Dyatlov Pass in Russia, but
next
I think
episode
we're going to get back into like some internet rabbit holes. I'm going to find some good ones where like it brings us on the brink of insanity, and then we talk about it. And like, I wouldn't watch that video. I didn't click that next link, man. So we'll get back into that for future episodes. I've got a whole list of stuff I got to find on my fucking share drive. And we're just going to do those kind of fucking weird, crazy episodes, violent history, all that good shit.
I'm ready.
Hell yeah, man. Cheetah growl. Haven't done that in a while. Forgot that it's a death cheetah, dude. Anyway, go check out Mega Cosmic Adventures on Spotify and everywhere else. Spotify mainly. That's where I started shifting everything to be primarily Spotify. That's where I upload it, and then it gets disseminated. Like the fuck doll in the tree, disseminated everywhere. And then, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. You got anything else?
Bye-bye.
Oh, I forgot. All right.